Welcome to my tutorial in Photoshop CS4 for cleaning up your photos for Etsy and eBay. What I'm starting with today is an image that I took about a year ago, and you'll see that the background here is losing some contrast. It's not as bright as it could be. So what we'll do is we'll use the selective colour tool here in Photoshop to clean it up. My photos have already been cropped to a square. I usually do this in Lightroom. It lets me export them on a 1:1 ratio and it comes out that shape. What you can do yourself if you want to change this, if you hit Control H, or on a Mac it would be Option H or Apple H, just play around with it till you find the right one. It will give you the squares on here for the grid, so you can then map it out. So if I wanted to change this in any way, I could go to the crop tool now and just follow the lines to get the square. If I right click, it will crop. In this case I'll cancel it. These rulers here can be activated by if you go to the view screen and click on the rulers, which is also Control R. If you right click on the ruler, you can choose whether it's pixels, inches, centimetres, etc. If you'd like to get some guidelines that help you line everything up to get your square, you can drag them out from the side. They'll show up in blue. And again, it's Control H to turn them off. Okay, so this image that we've got here, the first thing that we'll do is I can see that there's a couple of little spots here from when I had a grotty lens. So I'll use the spot healing brush. If you're using a version of Photoshop that doesn't have this, then you've got the clone tool you could do this with as well. So I'll just pop that over and there we go. See yellow the spots. Okay, what I'll do before we do anything else, you'll see down this side here we have all of this menu. If there's anything missing from here you think you'll need, and what you will need for this particular tool is you'll need adjustments, layers, and the history. You may also find that you need the navigation tool. What you can do to turn them on is go to Window and just pick out the ones that you like. Okay, and if we click on this now, that will collapse that menu. We'll go to Layers. We've got the background layer here. We're going to make a copy of the background layer so that we've got the original background to refer back to and we're not making any changes to that original. Right click it, make a duplicate layer. For now we can call it background copy. If you were doing many layers, then you might like to name them so that you can easily identify them. Okay, we can turn this one off now because we're not using it for the time being. What we'll do, and you'll see I'll often go back over here, that's just to deselect what I'm doing. If I go to Image, Adjustments and Selective Colour, what it will now let me do is to adjust the different colours in various shades. At the moment it's on red, we want to go to white. If I move this black to the left, you'll see the background brightens and also the contrast changes in the actual colour of the image. Now make sure that you're keeping a good eye on what colour your actual product is, otherwise you don't want to be selling the wrong colour to someone and turning out them saying, oh, this wasn't what I expected. You can slide this back and forth, you can see that the contrast changes and also the tones in there. So if I move that way, that's pretty close to being a lot brighter. There still is a little bit of a cast, we need to change the contrast, but it's much cleaner than it was. This particular photo was just taken on a white tabletop or a piece of MDF. Okay, so just to see the difference now, if I turn the background layer back on and turn the top layer off, you can see there that the contrast changes dramatically. Another option that we have is here. This is your adjustment layer tool, and what it'll do is it'll change the layer you're working on but also everything underneath it. So if we click on this one here now and see brightness contrast, which a lot of people use, that will adjust the image overall. If you've got some parts of the image that you want brighter but not everything, you've got more control with curves. Now if we go here, this end of the scale is your darks. If we move that, you can see that the black and dark tones of the image get stronger, and this here obviously at this end adjusts your lights. Now you can do S curves and everything. If you do something like that, which is completely hideous and has too much, You can go down here and this little, it's like a circle arrow thing, that will reset everything. Or if you completely hate what you're doing, you can delete the whole layer and leave it like that. Okay. That's how you can clean up the colours using the selective colour tool. As I said, this particular one still needs a little bit more punch to it, so we can go ahead and put those curves over the top if we like, it's up to you. The reason that you get these colour casts is due to the colour temperature of your light, and you'll need to refer back to my written tutorial to explain which colour does what. In a program such as Lightroom, you will be able to adjust the colour temperature easily with the tools that are available in there. It's always a good idea to set your white balance on the camera before you go ahead and take the photos, but in a situation like this where we're going and doing the work afterwards, this is how you can get it as bright as possible so it really stands out and may get chosen for the front page or a tertiary.